Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a financially themed hypnosis session for a client that would often hesitate when asking for money or pricing their services at a suitable level. And partly it was down to childhood experiences where there was a feeling that there wasn't enough money to go around. So even if he wanted things, he wouldn't always be given a yes response if he wanted nice things as a child. And because of that, there was a feeling of embarrassment or shame at discussing money. But now as a grown man, that same feeling was there, linked to asking for money in a client kind of dynamic, which was causing problems. So what you're going to hear in this hypnosis session is an element of direct suggestion to let go of the shame, but also two key analogies that were designed to promote a different mindset. And the first utilizes a metaphor of a man with a metal detector. And if you think of a man with a metal detector, there is no guarantee they're going to find anything valuable in the beach if they're looking for, let's say, coins or jewelry. But if they don't attempt to go on that beach with a metal detector, they're guaranteed to find nothing. So there's an element of the risk-reward ratio is such that there is a lot more reward if you are willing to take a risk. This then links to a different metaphor of streams. And this particular client had a belief system that they were looking for the perfect way to generate new clients. But in trying to find the perfect way, they weren't then doing lots of different approaches where they could discover effective ways. It was kind of an all or nothing strategy. So the metaphor of the streams highlights that by building these streams, by having these streams where opportunities flow, it then cultivates two key things. One, to take opportunities as they arise, but secondly, not rely on any one stream for those opportunities. I think if you are someone that's uncomfortable having discussions about money, you'll benefit from this session. Or if you like the idea of doing things that would create a possibility of a lot more financial success in the future, then this session could be quite useful. It's quite good timing, really, because I've just launched a new online course called Hypnotic Wealth. So if you are curious to learn more about money and finance and change beliefs or fears that you have about money, click the link in the show notes, and it will take you to a free video, which is essentially chapter 1 of the course, and that's completely free. So for this particular session, find a comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, just imagine breathing in a feeling of calm, resourceful relaxation. Feel it going in through your nose into your lungs. And as you exhale, just allow any feelings of worry, stress, or tension to leave your body in your outward breath. So that as you breathe in and breathe out, you're able to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a beautiful beach at sunset. You can hear the gentle breaking of the waves on the shore, the incredible colors in the sky, a cool breeze, just a few clouds, but an overwhelming sense of calm and tranquility. And maybe you can imagine sitting on that beach, looking out at the sand, the sea. And I want you to imagine looking out at a beach when earlier that day it was very busy. Maybe thousands of people on the beach. But here, right now, it's just you and an old man. And the old man is walking down the beach, but he's carrying something in his hand. You can just about make out the silhouette because the sun is behind him, just about to set. And you can see that he's carrying a metal detector. Maybe he has headphones. And you can see him waving the metal detector left and right in a rhythmic gesture. And every now and then, his facial expression changes when he's hearing some kind of signal or beeps in the headphones, telling him that the metal detector has picked up through that electromagnetic signal some form of metal object just under the sand. And I want you to think of what that older man was thinking before he left his home that day to go to the beach. That in the evening after a sunny day, there would have been hundreds and hundreds of people on the beach. People have loose pockets. It's very easy for coins to fall out of their pockets. People take off their watch before they go into the sea. Jewelry can slip off like a ring or a bracelet. And in the mind of that gentleman going to the beach, he doesn't have to find everywhere he looks coins and jewelry, but if he scans that beach, every now and then he will discover something valuable. And the old man could always choose to stay at home. But I want you to think, what is the probability of him finding something valuable on the beach if he chooses to stay at home? There is a 0% chance of him finding that gold ring, that luxury watch, or a lot of coins. And the interesting thing is, even if he does choose to go to the beach, he still may find nothing of value. But I want you to get a sense that this old gentleman that you're seeing walking down the beach has figured out a way to make it so he can't lose. I want you to see his facial expressions and body language as he walks down the beach. He's enjoying watching the sunset, whether he finds jewelry or not. His body is benefiting from the exercise of walking down the beach. He has time to think about his life and the choices he's making, whether he finds something on that beach or not. So therefore, him finding something valuable on the beach is simply the bonus not the reason. And I want you to see him looking excited. Clearly he's heard the beeps in his earphones. So you can see him looking under the surface. And I want you to imagine seeing him pick up something, look at it, and then throw it back down. Clearly he's found something, maybe like a bottle top or a piece of rubbish. No value at all, and yet he continues to walk forward with just as much energy and enthusiasm as he did before. And then see him again. Looking excited, curious, he starts sprinkling the sand beneath his fingertips and then picks up something. Only this time, his expression is much more enthusiastic, happier. And you can see him put something in his pocket. And that might be a coin, a ring, a bracelet, a necklace, or a watch. Only the man knows what he put in his pocket. But I want you to get a sense that if you don't try, you're guaranteed to not find anything of value. And I want you to think about what the equivalent would be in your life. What would the equivalent of taking that metal detector to the beach? And maybe it's going to places where people are selling the right things that you feel like you could find a buyer for. Maybe it's doing a demonstration. Maybe it's creating some content to put out there in the world on a newsletter, social media, or YouTube. And what if the process of doing the things was enjoyable, whether or not they lead to something valuable? I want you to use the power of your imagination to now imagine you're in a meadow. And I want you to imagine that you can hear the sound of running water. And there is a single stream flowing towards you. And every now and then, I want you to imagine a little wooden boat floating down the stream. And it has something valuable in there, maybe money, maybe a symbol of something valuable like gold or a precious jewel. The stream is constantly flowing, but it's not always providing you with a boat that has something valuable in there. And you could be complacent and be happy with that occasional toy boat floating down the stream. Or you could figure out how to make it so many more streams flow towards you. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine that 10 different streams are all flowing into a single river. All the 10 streams are coming from different places. And occasionally, each of these 10 streams also has a toy wooden boat filled with something valuable in. And they all meet together and form a small river. And you can imagine almost a constant flow of valuable wooden boats floating down that river, because the river is made up of many different streams. And I wonder, in your world, what are the different streams that could lead to different opportunities flowing your way? And And the ideal streams are something where you do the work once, and it gives you the ability to have an infinite flow of those wooden boats flowing to you in the future. Maybe it's content that you create. Maybe one of those streams is your reputation. Maybe another stream is referrals from people that you've done good things for in the past, and they just recommend you to other people. And I wonder what would happen if there were 10 different streams all flowing into one small river, all providing you with opportunities. You might reach a point where there are too many small wooden boats floating past you that you don't have enough hands and arms to grab every single boat. And maybe you would need to get an assistant, some additional help to help you take all the value from those boats as they continue to float past. I want you to accept that the amount of money that you accumulate is a reflection of the amount of value that you're creating for the world. There are certain things where, in order for one person to win, someone else has to lose. I want you to imagine beside those streams is a man with a bag of seeds. Maybe there is 1,000 seeds in a big bag. And I want you to get a sense that if you just took that bag of seed from him, you would have the bag of seed and he would have nothing. And it would be right for you to feel shame of taking someone else's hard work and just taking it from them. But imagine if you paid that man for those seeds. He would have the money, you would have the seeds, and then imagine if you planted those seeds. And what if they all grew into trees that started producing maybe fruit, and each of those fruit could have 10 or 20 additional seeds in? He would have the money. You would have maybe an orchard of fruit trees with unlimited fruit to eat. But then also in the future, you could sell him back bags of seeds just made from all the seeds that were produced from all the fruit. And in that situation, nobody loses, everyone wins. And if your mind is open to the idea of finding win-win situations, that in order for you to make value, you're giving value and vice versa, just let me know by nodding your head. That's it. I want you to get a sense that you're returning to the beach, holding the idea of all those streams flowing opportunities towards you. And then imagine asking that man to borrow the metal detector just for 5 minutes. And there you are, scanning the sand on the beach, and you hear a beep. And you start to look under the surface of the sand, and I want you to imagine seeing a $15,000 watch. And then I want you to accept the idea that if you didn't take the risk, you wouldn't get the reward. And from this point forward, you are now happy to take the risk because it infinitely increases your ability to get all of the rewards that you now deserve. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Feel like you're returning to the present, taking all these new ideas, new relationship with money with you, and that's it. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Feel like you're fully present in this moment. As very soon I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, motivated, feeling that you deserve money, but also feeling you're willing to do what it takes to find what works for you, to test it, to figure it out, and then do that more and more, starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.